Okay, so we've all seen the incredible images our rovers have sent back from Mars. They're amazing, no doubt. But let's go beyond that. Let's try to explore the raw, unfiltered, and, well, the profoundly human experience of what it will actually feel like to stand on Mars for the very first time.
For centuries, Mars has just been this red dot in the sky, a canvas for our imagination. But when astronauts finally arrive, what will they actually see? What will they feel in that moment? This isn't just a fun thought experiment anymore.
This question is becoming incredibly urgent. You look at the timeline, with both private companies and space agencies aiming to land humans on Mars in the coming decade, this imagined future is getting very real very fast. So let's do this. Let's try to put ourselves right in their space boots. We'll start with that very first glimpse of this crimson frontier. Imagine you're in that landing craft, descending through the wispy atmosphere, and you're peering out the window as this entirely new world comes into focus. The very first shock, it's going to be the sky. It is a complete, total inversion of everything we know. By day, it's not blue. It's this hazy, butterscotch, almost pinkish color, all thanks to the fine, rust-colored dust hanging in the air. But then the sunset, it's the opposite of Earth. It's a cool, eerie blue. It would be this constant visual reminder that you are a very, very long way from home. And the reason for these bizarre colors, the atmosphere itself is just barely there. We're talking 1% of the thickness of Earth's. This incredibly thin, dusty veil is also why the stars don't twinkle. Without a dense atmosphere to mess with the light, they just hang in the sky like these hard, piercing points of light. You could even see them during the day. Just think about how strange that would be. Okay, so you've taken in that alien sky, and now the hatch opens. We're moving to that historic moment, the first step. Let's really dig into the physical sensation of setting foot on another world for the very first time. You'd hear a crunch under your boots, but it's not soil. It's this fine iron oxide-rich dust, apparently as fine as talcum powder. And it gets everywhere, it clings to everything electrostatically. Because of the lower gravity, you'd feel this strange, buoyant strength, almost like a superpower. The rocks all around you, they're sharp, angular, blasted by billions of years of wind, with none of the smooth, water-rounded pebbles you see everywhere on Earth.
And here's the key thing to understand. You're not walking on soil as we know it. You're walking on something called regolith. It's basically the skin of the planet, a layer of crushed rock and dust from impacts, volcanoes, and wind, but with no biology and no history of flowing water to shape it.
But, perhaps the most profound sensory experience is captured in this quote. It's the silence, a silence deeper than any anechoic chamber on Earth, broken only by the sound of your own breathing inside your helmet. It's not peaceful. It's the absolute, total emptiness of a world without life. All right, so once your senses kind of adjust to the ground and that unnerving silence, you look up and you scan the horizon. And this is where you begin to grasp the desolate, almost terrifying beauty of the Martian vista. A landscape of truly alien scale. The horizon itself would feel wrong. Because Mars is a smaller planet, the curve is much more pronounced. This means the horizon is unsettlingly close. It makes the landscape feel both vast and weirdly enclosed at the very same time. Just another thing to enhance that feeling of being on an alien world. And get this, the feeling on your suit would be totally bizarre. That thin air, it can't hold or move heat around. So even at noon, right on the equator, the ground at your feet could be a pleasant 75 degrees Fahrenheit, while the air up at your head is literally at the freezing point. And at night, oh, the show continues. You'd see Mars's two little moons, which are probably captured asteroids. Phobos, the bigger one, is this lumpy, potato-shaped rock that just screams across the sky from west to east, twice a day. And then there's Deimos, much smaller, looking more like a very bright, slowly wandering star. Okay, so beyond the plains, right at your landing site, Mars is home to these planetary wonders, geological monuments on a scale that's almost impossible to wrap our heads around. These aren't just mountains and canyons like on Earth. They are on another level entirely. For instance, you might be standing in the shadow of Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the entire solar system. It's more than twice the height of Mount Everest, but it's so incredibly vast and its slopes are so gentle that if you were standing at its base, you wouldn't even realize you were on a mountain. It would just look like a gradual, unending slope disappearing over that close Martian horizon. Or imagine standing at the edge of Valles Marineris. This isn't really a canyon, it's more like a giant scar on the face of the planet. It's so long it would stretch across the entire United States, and it's so wide that you couldn't see the other side. The opposite rim would be completely invisible beyond the curve of the planet, creating this terrifying illusion of just an infinite drop.
So these massive features were shaped by volcanoes and tectonic forces. But as you look closer, you see this seemingly dead world is etched everywhere with the ghosts of water, these haunting clues of a very, very different and much wetter past. And as you explore, it would hit you pretty quickly. This isn't a world that was always dead. This is a world that lost something vital. The evidence is literally written in the rocks right beneath your feet. You would find signs of it everywhere. These winding ridges that show the paths of ancient rivers, now fossilized in stone. You'd find these perfectly preserved polygons of cracked mud that mark the bottom of a lake that evaporated billions of years ago. These aren't just rocks. They are the undeniable ghosts of a warmer, wetter Mars. And really, that's what they are. They're tombstones. Seeing this planetary-scale tragedy written right into the landscape, man, that would be a powerful and pretty sobering lesson in just how fragile a world can be. So finally, after seeing the ghosts of Mars's past, you would see a reflection of humanity's future. Because amidst this ancient, primordial landscape are the most surprising and completely out-of-place sights of all, the signs of your own species. Your view would be this surreal fusion of the ancient and the futuristic. The scorched remains of your landing stage, the gleaming solar panels of your habitat, and maybe, just off in the distance, the silent, dust-covered shape of a pioneering rover like Curiosity, now a historic monument. And then you'd look up into that black sky, and you'd see Earth, a brilliant blue and white star. And that sight, it would be a thing of immense power. A single point of light containing every person you've ever known, the entire sum of human history. It would be both a powerful psychological anchor and a source of the most profound, devastating isolation imaginable. So in the end, the first humans on Mars won't just see a new planet, they'll see a world of incredible contradictions. Dead yet eloquent, empty yet full of history. And in that rusty soil and under that strange butterscotch sky, I think they'll see a new reflection of humanity, our resilience, our absolutely audacious curiosity, and the beginning of our future as a multiplanetary species.